Okay, so we are recording right now. Pardon my voice. I had a really busy weekend in Orlando for the Crew Day crew trip, and I did a lot of talking, um, a lot of grilling, a lot of really successful coaches. So that's one of the main reasons why my voice is gone. Um, Also, lack of sleep, I mean, all those other things that kind of go into um, being away and traveling and all that fun stuff. But I wanted to get on here this week and share with you guys some tips that I learned about Instagram while I was away. But first and foremost, I want to welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, 2016. And today we're going to be talking about Instagram. So one of the first things I want you guys to do is make sure you have your phone, just so that you can go onto your Instagram account as we're talking about these things. I'm not going to overwhelm you with too much information. We did have a Instagram training with Melissa McAllister, which, as you guys know, is a 4-time top coach. She's also, I think, this year coming up will be her 5th year in the top 10. So she kind of knows what she's doing. And she's been doing a lot of things with Instagram, trying different things out, because what a lot of the top coaches are saying is that Facebook has become saturated, and not saturated in a way that there's no one else to help, but saturated in a way where, sorry, I'm like staring at the side of my screen because that's where the camera is. Saturated in a way where there's a lot of people doing MLMs on Facebook. And a lot of people who are doing it wrong, that are kind of doing it in more of like a salesy, like throw it in your face kind of a way, which isn't really our way of promoting what we're doing. So a lot of coaches are going onto Instagram and having a ton of success with it. So it's something that is new to me, because I did not have an Instagram account until I became a coach. I was kind of nervous about it because I didn't really understand what it was all about. But Instagram really is just about sharing everything you're doing. Like, it's not like Facebook where it's overwhelming if you post over 5 times a day. Like, on Instagram, it's like the more the better. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about, I'm just going to hide the camera because it's bothering me. You've got to start treating your business like a business. And when it comes to Instagram, there's a lot of really great tools now that makes it really easy to do that. So the first thing I want you guys to do is just go into your Instagram account. I'm going to go into mine too, so I know what I'm talking about, or I can like see what I'm talking about. So when you go on your Instagram account, usually like you'll see like at the top, there's like the story, which is kind of like the stories that they have on Snapchat. And so they've made it onto Instagram now. So it kind of allows you to showcase what you do in an kind of like the same way that Instagram does. And it's a great way for people to get to know you a little bit better if they're intrigued in what you're doing. Instead of just looking on your feed, they can go in there. But so your profile picture, we've talked about this before, on Facebook, is really important that you have something that people can see your face. They can see your full face. You're smiling. You look approachable. Think about lighting. Think about what you're doing in your picture. So I don't know if I told you guys, but my students found me again. So for a while, I was public all of last year. At the end of last year, my students found my account, and I made myself private. And then slowly I took myself back onto public again, because you are going to be like, we're in the public eye. So we really need to have public accounts so that people can find us. Otherwise, it's really just the people who you are reaching out to that you're going to be connecting with. So anyways, long story short, I got a email today from one of my students saying, just with the link to both of my YouTube channels. So like one of them was one from when I was in college. So I was like, oh, congratulations, you found like my school videos. Like, not really a big deal, but they also found my coaching YouTube channel with all of my coaching stuff on it. And so it kind of like made me think about, okay, like I can't keep going back and forth between like private and public. And it's, you want to be professional, but when you're a teacher, you kind of don't really have a personal life. Like everything is anyone can go and look at what you're doing at any time. So what I have kind of come to terms with is that if I make myself as professional and business oriented as I possibly can, then there's no problem with me being public. And so I kind of have been working a little bit on, okay, so now my Instagram name is not my name anymore. So if you guys are following me and you start seeing somebody liking your stuff and the person's name is Cartwheels and Coffee, that would be me. Because I just felt like for me, I needed to make sure that my name wasn't on there. I don't mind if my students find me, and I don't mind, well, I don't really like it. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but at least this way I'm a little bit more hidden. So if you're worried about people finding you, and I know that it's not just teachers that have that issue, I know nurses have the same conversation with a lot of my nurse friends, that they don't want their patients to find them or to see what they're doing. I mean, this is your social life. And for us, it's a little bit different because we are running a business, but again, you don't really want the wrong people to find you. So if you create your Instagram handle as something that's different, that kind of says something about you, then that is helpful too. I chose not to use my team name because my team name is, I feel like it screams fitness. And as much as I am running a fitness business, I don't want to scare people away. And a lot of the people, like the network I'm trying to reach, is the people who might not know that, they want to invest in their health and fitness. A lot of the people that approach me are people who really are at square one. They don't know where to start. And I don't want to scare people away by having Team Sweating Sparkles or even Sweating Sparkles as my handle. And so I decided to do something completely different, like fun and flirty and whatever. Like when they look at my page, they'll see that I have a lot of fitness and health inspired things, but at least it's not like they're being scared away by it being like a fitnessy site. So that was like my decision to do that. And then my picture is of me with a cup of coffee. So it's kind of like trying to brand yourself in that way. Like, what is it that you want people to see when they go on your page? I was talking over the weekend with Allie Upham, who is a superstar diamond coach, and she met up with us when we were in Orlando, and I kind of started to grill her on a lot of things. And one of the things that she said to me, because I told her I'm not good at Instagram, and she said, well, you just got to pick something that you feel comfortable with. And she said that Instagram's not for everyone. And if you don't like bright colors and fun pictures and like taking pictures, like if you don't actually enjoy the art of taking pictures, then Instagram is probably not for you. And I was like, but wait a minute, I do love all of those things. So it kind of made me think like maybe I've been like shying away from it because I don't know enough about it. So I've been doing a little bit of research on, and a lot of people on Instagram that are doing really well, they play around a lot with like going back and forth between black and white pictures, putting filters on their pictures. And I don't have this on my account yet, but like if you guys follow Chelsea Pearson, she has so if you guys have your Instagram, like just look up Chelsea Pearson right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And it's Chelsea Blush is her. Oh my gosh, she changed it. No, here it is. So I can kind of show you. So do you guys see how like every other one is like a picture, right? So it's like she has like a quote or like some kind of like, and she does a lot of like worship stuff. Like she does a lot of like she's very Christian based. So she has a lot of verses and Bible verses and worship songs and stuff like that, lyrics on there. So she'll use that and she'll go back and forth just so that when people look at her page, it looks really professional, presentable. You can tell it's not just like somebody's Instagram account that they just like threw together. Like there was an intention behind what she's doing. I know her husband, so she hasn't been doing that recently. I think she's on vacation, so she's just like blindly posting right now, like just posting a lot of stuff. But normally she does it's like very routine what she does. I know her husband does where he also posts a lot of Bible verses. I don't know if I can find him really quick. His name is Rob. If you guys want to look him up, and he's Rob Insanity. That's his name. Yeah, it looks like they're both on well, I mean, they're married, so they're on vacation together. And it looks like, okay, so he also does the same type of thing where it's like, it looks nice and clean. But I know what he used to do. I'm trying to find it. It was so cool. He used to do. Here it is. So see how on the whole right side of his page, it's all the same thing. And that was kind of to like get people used to seeing the same thing. And they're all Bible verses. And he's created them to be very unique to him, and he puts his name on it. So that's another thing. When you put a lot of time into these pictures, even if it's literally just creating like a white background and typing in your own text, brand it with your name at the bottom of it so that when people see it or if someone shares it, that it can be traced back to you. So I'm going to take it back to Allie, who's the one that I was talking to over the weekend. And she does that. So she does a really great job with anytime that she posts anything, she brands the bottom of it with her name. And it doesn't even, like, it doesn't look like it takes her that long. Like, it's really just like for example, I don't know if you guys can see this. You guys see how she has the quote, and then down at the bottom in gray right here, it has her name. So it's like when people would go to like crop it, they wouldn't really be able to crop it out without cropping out the whole picture. And most people who are not coaches are just going to share it blindly. They're not going to think about it. So what a lot of people do, and I see Melanie Mitro doing this a lot too, is they put their name on it just so that, and like if you have a website, the website's really good too to put on there instead of putting your handle because then it takes people straight to your website instead of to your Instagram. So it forces them to see all the other things that you have going on if you have a website, which I know most of us don't yet. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is this great thing where you can actually connect your fitness page and your Instagram and make it a business account. So I did this the other day, and that was how I remembered that I was still private. And the way to do it is when you go to your page, when you go to the right side of your page, like that person or whatever, like that icon that's a person, click on that. And then up at the top, you'll see like that settings bar. When you tap that settings bar, when you go down to the bottom, it asks to switch to a business account. Mine asks me to switch to a personal account because I already have a business account now. So when you click on that, it asks you to just log into your Facebook account and to find your fitness page, like your like page. So whatever it is that you use as your like page, and it connects the two of them. And then what happens after that, it forces your account to go public, which is all of our accounts should be public regardless. But then what happens is when people go to your page, they now see this contact thing at the top of your page. And when they tap contact, it takes them to your email. So they can email you right from your phone, which on my phone I can't because I don't have my email connected. But it also, I'm not sure what it looks like from a public standpoint. Let me see. It also gives you, so it kind of connects your fitness page and your Instagram page, and you get to see what your followers look like. So right now, like I have this bar at the bottom. It's like my metrics of like who's coming to my page, how often, and then it kind of, I mean, I haven't had it for very long. I've had it for 24 hours, this business account. So I don't have very much, but it tells you like 3 a.m., 6 a.m. Like, so I've had quite a few interactions just since I've gotten the business account. And then what happens is it tells you about your impressions. So it's a total number of times all of your posts have been seen. So it's basically like being liked but the person doesn't have to actually like it. They just have to go into it. So sometimes people are going, you know how sometimes we say like, people are still reading your post even though they're not liking it. It's like the same thing, but with the impressions, you get to see all that stuff. So I do recommend you guys moving your Instagram over into a business account just so that you can see all those metrics and kind of keep tabs on all of that stuff. And I think the more you use it, okay, so it also tells me the gender. So of my followers, 81% are women. I'm not surprised. um, it also tells you like the age range. So it's telling me right here that most of them are between the ages of 25 and 34. And for the most part, they all live in Philly. So all of those, not really a surprise to me. But I think, like as your followers start to grow, that number might change, or you might see that number changing up too. And sometimes it's like nice to see what you attract, because that might be like what you need to focus on, right? So I focus mostly on women. A lot of my posts are geared towards women. Men don't generally reach out to me unless they're being creepy. So I tend to just kind of try to keep to that niche. But you guys might have a completely different demographic that is reaching out to you. So that's why I think that feature of Instagram is really awesome. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So meeting new people, so great. You have a business account. You are using Instagram every single day. You're making it look really nice and flowy, and you're really proud of where you are with your Instagram moving forward. But you need to be connecting with new people. And so the whole thing with Instagram is that it's a lot easier to gain followers on Instagram than Facebook, because it's not, I don't know what it is. There's just something different about Instagram. It's a little more fluid, I think. It's not as, I don't know what to even say, but like I remember when Facebook first came out and it was like I only friended people I absolutely knew. When it comes to Instagram, it's more like, oh, that person takes really great pictures, I'm going to follow them. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like you either want to or you don't. You can unfollow people and they don't have to know about it. You can follow people and they don't follow you back. People can follow you, you don't follow them back. So I actually did go through all of my followers today, mostly because I wanted to check to make sure that none of my students were following me. So I had a little bit of a different reason for it. But the great thing about that is you can go through your followers and it tells you if you follow them or not. So if you're just getting back into the Instagram game and you've been out of it for a little while like I have, you can actually tap on your followers. And if you look at my followers right now, I have like all of the top ones are just people who have recently added me and I haven't added them back. And so I'm going to be going through them and seeing if I want to follow them back, because I think some of them are like not actual people. I think it's like robots. So I want to make sure that people I'm following are people that I'm actually following, not falling. And that's something that, as you follow people, you want to write them down. You want to write down their names to make sure that you know who they are. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So you want to follow 5 new accounts daily. So that would be a matter of, you can search hashtags. You can go into people who you follow, like actual people, not like other Beachbody coaches, but like I might go, let me see if I can find somebody that's not a coach. See, this is the problem. Everyone's coaches on here. Okay, so I'm going to go into my sister's account. And when I go into my sister's account, I can see the people that like her pictures. So like her most recent picture that she posted, I can go and I can look and see who all the people who liked her picture. And notice how all of those people I'm not following yet. So I can go into them and I can, oh, I know this girl. I know this girl too. So I can literally go down the list and follow all the people in there that, I'm interested in following, or that I think I might get a lot out of following them. But while you're doing that, it's really important that you're writing down who those people are. And that's why I'm saying follow 5 new accounts daily. You don't want to follow more accounts than you can keep control of. Because what happens is, you're going to follow people and a lot of people are not going to follow you back. And you don't want to be that person that has like 15,000 followers and no traction. Like you want those people that are following you to be people that you're interacting with that are going on your page, because you don't want it to get congested. So what I like to do is I write down all the names. So like right now, I'm going to follow a bunch of people and I'm going to write down all of their names. And then I'm going to go on their page and I'm going to interact with things that are happening on their page. I'm not going to go in and write them a private message because it's just too soon. But I'm going to go in and try to like see if I can interact with them in some way. And I don't want to like make up a conversation. Like, and I'm not going to comment on something unless I really feel like I have something to contribute. So if they posted a nice picture, or like if there's something on their page that I like, I might comment on it. They're going to stay on my list. So like, think about that. Like if you're finding 5 new people every single day, by the end of the week, you're going to have like 25 new people that you're going on their page daily and trying to interact with what they're doing. So you're not really going to have 25 because all of them are not going to follow you back. If they don't follow you back in 24 hours, I would unfollow them, because it means that they're not active on Instagram. And you want people that are following you to be active on Instagram. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless, because you're going to be like trying to interact with them and they're going to take forever to get back to you. So with that, with interacting every day, if somebody is interacting with you, which I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here, I'm going to touch on this a little bit later too, but you want to make sure that you comment to every single person that writes something to you, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. And this is something that I noticed that a lot of people don't do, like in general, not just coaches, but like people in general. Like when I go on their pages, like, or like if someone posts like a picture, like let's say like you create a new profile picture or something, and you get a ton of people commenting like, oh, like I love the scenery. Oh, I love your hair. I love this. I love that. Comment back to every single person and say thank you, and like open up that dialogue, because what happens a lot is people go to the bottom of their page and they're like, well, I'm going to say the same thing to everyone, so I might as well just make a generic thank you. Think about like how much more meaningful it is to get a response, you know, like it's not just this generic, like, oh, thanks for all the comments, guys, like for each person. And then a lot of times people will continue that dialogue with you, or you can take that dialogue off that platform and have an actual conversation with that person. Sorry, I got distracted. This is why I usually put away my phone when I'm doing personal development. Okay. So I just talked about don't be afraid to unfollow. So like, I mean, if you wanted to wait like 2 days, like that's fine, you know. I know that at Leadership, they were telling us that within 24 hours you should unfollow them, but that's also top coaches that are like, that have a lot of people that they're following. And a lot of the leaders I was talking to, they actually have assistants that they pay to do this for them. So they'll find somebody like a college kid or something and pay them like $10 a week to like go on their Instagram account every single day and find 5 new accounts of, you know, like 3, like that are going to be based on things that you want, like that are based on you having things in common. So different types of hashtags and things like that. So that's probably one of the things that I'm going to do next, is hire an assistant to do things like that. I don't want to hire anyone to do like the big stuff, like the team stuff or the big challenge group stuff. But when it comes to finding new people, I don't see anything wrong with paying somebody like $5-10 a week just to go on your page and like do that stuff for you. Also, doing your birthday messages as well. So like if you have like I know one of the girls I was talking to at Leadership, she has a generic message that she gives to her assistant. And it's actually a really nice message. It's a pretty nice lengthy message. And it doesn't just say like happy birthday. Like it has like like I'm gonna have to ask her to send me what it is that she wrote, because I feel like it was really good. But it was something along the lines of, like, I hope you're having a great fall. It looks like, looks like you're having, I can't even pretend like I remember what it said right now, because she was telling me when we were at dinner. But I might just ask her to send me what it is that she sends, because I think it was really effective. And it's an opener. Like a lot of times it's so easy just to be like, happy birthday, hope you have a great day. But it's so important that when you're doing these birthday messages that you're kind of opening it up to conversation to the point where you're like you deserve it. Like it's your day. Like, I hope you have a lot of fun, and like ask them what they're doing. Like, how are they celebrating? Don't just tell them to have a great birthday. Like, make sure you kind of take that conversation and take it into, a dialogue where you can like actually talk to that person and start to form them a little bit. Okay. Anyways, we're going to move on because we have to talk about hashtags, which is, as you guys know, like that's Instagram in a nutshell. It's hashtags. So where a lot of hashtags are stored. And so for those of you that might not know, hashtags are like little folders. Like they're like everything that is hashtag that goes into one folder, which is why if you go to an event or something, you might see like, if you're on Instagram, hashtag your pictures, like hashtag like best trip ever or something like that. Like, and they try to make it unique because what happens is every single picture that is hashtagged with that specific hashtag goes into that folder. And so when you click on that hashtag, all of your stuff comes up. So a lot of people do that for like their weddings or for baby showers, things like that, because all the pictures from that event all get stored in the same place and it doesn't take any extra effort. Like you don't have to have people email stuff to you. So hashtags are really great. So one of the activities that we did, the very first thing we did at Leadership was we wrote down 20 unique hashtags. And those hashtags were like all sorts of different types of things. So like it was about interest that you have. It was, you know, encompassing who you are. So if you're a mom, like hashtags could be like fit mom or mom gets it done, or, you know, like different types of things that encompass what you're doing. Soccer mom, like, you know, like think of really unique hashtags that are very specific to you. I mean, I wouldn't make it like so specific that nobody else would be hashtagging it, because the point is that that's what you're using and that's what people are using to find you. Because people are always trying to find new friends on Instagram. They're trying to find new people to connect with. So also that's where you get a lot of like the where they give you referrals of, oh, you should definitely follow this person, or like you get them in your recommended people to follow. So if you have hashtags or using a lot of the same hashtags as certain people, like it'll show up. So I think I want to make that you guys' homework assignment for this week, and I'll make a post for it on our team page because I want to see what types of hashtags you guys have. And if we're having a hard time, and like that's the whole point too, it's like sometimes it's easier for me to think of a hashtag for somebody else than it is for me to think of it for myself, because you know yourself so well, and you like sometimes it's like the simplest things that you don't even think about. But you want to use your hashtags, and a really great place to put them is in your comments of your pictures. So I know that Lauren and Jack do this a lot, where they will go back to old posts, so old Instagram posts, and they'll like throw in more hashtags. And that helps them to get, like it pops right back up, you know, it gets more, it gets into people's radar a little bit more when you do that. So like kind of going back and adding little hashtags here and there, like to ones that you think are like good posts, you know, like ones that you spend a lot of time on. Also on Facebook, I know this is supposed to be an Instagram training, but on Facebook, if you use in the comments where you put your group link, that shows up a lot better too. Because Madeline was telling me yesterday that what happens is that when your comments are opened, it makes it look like it's a more popular post. Because if people are like because Facebook can't necessarily tell if your eyes are glancing over a post. But if your eyes are glancing over a post enough for you to click the comments tab to see to click on the link, it's going to get more publicity, and then Facebook then knows that you've read it. So it's the same thing with Instagram. The more comments you have, the more popular your post is. So that's another reason why commenting back and forth between yourself and others is really great too. And I don't know if you guys know this about Instagram. The person who comments to you won't get a notification that you commented unless you unless you tag them in it. So like, let's say that I posted something and Kelly asks me a question like, oh, where'd you get that shirt? I would have to go like at Kelly, whatever Kelly's Instagram name is. I got it at Ross or whatever. If I don't tag her in that, she will not get the notification. I know a lot of us will go back and check anyways because we really want to know where that shirt's from, but it won't show up as like a notification on the app. So I just figured I would shared that because that's something that I did not know in the very beginning. And I was wondering why like nobody was responding back to me. Um, so we kind of already talked a little bit about this, but don't be afraid to use paper pencil. And I think we've talked a little bit about this in a couple, like the last couple of weeks, um, about how important it is to use paper pencil. And I think there's a little bit of added accountability when you use paper pencil too, because you're writing it down. So like think about all the times where you're like, I invited 5 people today. And then when you actually think about it, you're like, well, I sort of talked to this person and that was a follow up. And this person told me a week ago they were going to sign up today. So I just kind of reached out to them to see if they were ready. Those are not invites, those are follow ups or check ins. You need to have 5 different people, brand new people that you're inviting every single day. And so if you're doing this whole adding 5 people every day, interacting with those 5 people, checking the next day to see if they've followed you back. If they didn't follow you back, unfollow them. Find new people to follow. So the people that you actually are spending the time on are the people who are investing time into you too. Does that make sense? Okay. But with paper pencil, it's just easier kind of like to track your followers, to figure out who you have and haven't talked to. You can like write little notes, you can check, like cross things off. It's just like so satisfying to be able to be like, yes, I finished all of that for today. And then kind of like move on to the next day. And I think, yeah, so that's all that I have in terms of for today's call. I went a lot longer than I thought I was going to go. Next week, I'm going to be talking about YouTube because we also had James Wedmore was at Leadership, and he's like, if you guys Google him, he's like this big YouTube sensation, and he does all these mastermind like trainings. Like he charges like $5,000 for these trainings, and he gave it to us for free. Well, it wasn't really free because Jimmy's paying for him to like be his mentor. So he brought him on the trip to kind of help us get going. And he shared a lot of really good, insightful information about YouTube and how YouTube is really picking up just kind of like how Instagram is. I feel like Facebook is kind of, like we still want to use Facebook. Like I'm not saying that it's not good, but it has become a little bit more congested with these other MLMs that are of people who are just like throwing you into groups. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like every single day I'm added to more groups that I did not ask to be added to. And it's just getting to the point where I'm in so many groups now that I can't even I can't keep track of anything anymore. And so I think other people are starting to feel that too. But I did want before I end the call, I wanted to kind of touch base on our challenge groups and how important it is that for each challenge that you're running. I know a lot of us have a lot of repeat challengers, and we have a lot of discount coaches that are coming back again and again and again. I mean, aside from the fact that you're checking that everyone is on HD, you don't want to just assume that everyone wants to join the next 30-day group. You want to make sure you have that conversation with them to be like, hey, how was the end of your, what was last month, October? Like, how was the end of your October challenge? Like, kind of like go back to the goals that they set with you in the beginning of the challenge. Like, were you able to reach your goals? Like, how do you feel now? Like, start that conversation with them. Talk to them about the next group. Are you interested in doing our next group? Like, I won't be upset if you're not ready. Like, just, I just kind of get it set up right now, and I just wanted to reach out to you. That way, you're not just throwing people into a group and having no participation because they weren't really informed. Even though they've been in several of your groups already, you don't want to assume anything because I know how much it sucks to be added to all these groups that I just never asked to be added to. So it's also going to help us with retention and getting people to stick to the programs and stick to what we're doing if we are talking to them about it. And that also makes us more approachable. If we're reaching out to them at least once a week, we're reaching out to them at the end of a challenge, beginning of a challenge, they're going to feel like they're a part of it. They're not going to just feel like, oh, I'm a discount coach now. I don't mean anything to everyone. Because everyone means something, and I think sometimes we get stuck and caught up in Success Club points and trying to hit elite or trying to hit whatever rank it is that you're trying to go for, we forget about the whole point of the challenge groups. It's to help people to have success. And your success is different from somebody else's success. Like my success is to be fit because I have a fitness photo shoot in December. But there's people in my challenge groups that really just need extra accountability Monday through Friday. And they are not going to be like, they're not shy to tell me that they splurge on the weekends and, you know, they cheat every single Saturday. Like they go to dinner every single Saturday and they, you know, there's things that we all have different goals. So we can't put our goals on other people. You have to let them decide what their goals are. You can inspire them to stretch their goals. And if their goal is to lose 40 pounds by Christmas and they drink every Saturday night or they have a glass of wine 3 times a week, like those are the conversations that you might want to have then. But until you kind of hear from them that those are their goals and that they don't align, like there's nothing wrong with talking to them and saying, hey, your goal is this. That doesn't really align with what you're doing, the work you're putting in. With that being said, in your challenge groups, it is very, very important that every single person is posting every single day. It doesn't matter if you're on vacation or if you're on date night, you have to make sure that you are not letting your team down, because a lot of these groups are only led by like 2 or 3 coaches, right? So if you're not posting in the group, first of all, if you're not posting in the group, your challengers and your coaches are not going to post in the group because they look to you as inspiration. They look to you as the leader to show them what to do. And if you're not doing it, they're not going to do it. Also, you're kind of letting your team down because if you're not posting, like let's say like somebody on my team went on vacation and I was like left to kind of like pick up the whole team. I don't know all of the challengers in the group. I don't know your challenger. I don't know your coaches that well. They don't relate to me the same way that you relate to them because I'm not having those daily conversations with them. Well, they shouldn't be daily, but those check-ins. I'm not having those check-ins with every single person. So when you go on vacation and then you don't check in with your challengers, that's a problem and it's going to hurt you down the line, right? So we want to make sure our number one goal is for our challengers to have success in the challenge groups and to have fun, right? To really enjoy those challenge groups. And if people are wish-washy and they're not checking in every day, then they're going to stop checking in too. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice again. Now I know why, like when people like go and do speeches, they always bring those water bottles with them. I think there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it is. Oh, I remember. I'm so excited about this too. Okay, so guys, we are going to start what is called a coach challenge group because so it's like so crazy like that we didn't understand that this was actually a thing because I feel like a year ago when I pushed everyone out of the nest and everyone like flew away and created their own amazing teams and challenge groups and like took matters in their own hands. And like, I'm really proud of you guys because you guys did such a great job with that. And I don't have to even check in with you because I know that you guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you're like, I don't even have to worry about it. The thing is though, since we left those big challenge groups, I feel like a lot of the coaches' accountability has been hard. And as coaches, we don't want to be in the groups being like, oh, like it was really hard for me to get my workout in today, or oh, like I skipped my workout, or I didn't do meal prep last night, or like we don't really want to be admitting those things regularly in our challenge groups. It's one thing if it's once in a while and you're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to do my meal prep yesterday because I was so tired because I had X, Y, and Z. Like I remember right after back to school night, I made a post in my challenge. Listen, I just got home. Like there's no way I'm doing meal prep for tomorrow right now, but I'm going to get up early and I'm going to cook. And I did post that morning of me cooking and stuff. But like what I want to do is create a challenge group for the coaches. So like for any discount coaches or coaches that are working the business, for us every single month to recommit ourselves to a program. That way, because that's the whole point. Like if we're not recommitting ourselves and if we're not holding true to our goals, it's going to be really hard for us to inspire other people to do that. So if I'm not posting about a program that if I'm doing, if I'm not posting about me doing Shakeology, if I'm not keeping myself accountable and reaching goals, then my team's not going to do the same thing and my challengers aren't. So this is going to be a great place for us to go to just, it's going to be the same as like a regular challenge group that you might be hosting, but and you can like double post, you know, like if I do an accountability post in that group, I'll probably post it in my regular group too. But it's a way for us to like be vulnerable and be like, hey guys, I'm really struggling with this week. Has anybody noticed this? Or, hey, like I'm really trying to like think of a great challenge for my group this week. And I'm trying to think outside the box. That's a great place for us to post about it and just like brainstorm ideas, but also keep each other accountable to our monthly health and fitness goals. I think I said everything I needed to say. So we have a couple of minutes. So I wanted to see if anybody had any questions about, so our the monthly challenge group, it's called The Girl Behind the Shaker Cup. And if we have boys join us, we'll just name it The Peeps Behind the Shaker Cup or something. I don't know. We'll probably change the name next month. But for right now, that's what the name is. And if I'm going to put that in our team page, I'll put a link to it so that you can add yourself if you want to join. Because again, I don't want to assume that everyone wants to join this. It is another extra thing, but I think if we're holding ourselves accountable to those monthly goals and recommitting ourselves to a program like Carl keeps telling us, then we're going to be successful. So I feel like it's going to work. So anyways, I'm going to put that link on our page today. What else? Oh, and I'm going to put the link for you to put your 20 hashtags for Instagram. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Speak up.
Well, there's only 5 of us left on this call. So I'm registered for the Nicole Walters training. Did anyone else reconsider it? Because I think today is the last day to do it. And it's a huge discount. Jimmy and Kelly are being really generous and cutting us a huge break. But if you guys are in a slump or want to end 2016 strong, but you don't know how, I highly suggest you invest your money into
it. I don't recognize her from anywhere. Who exactly? I mean, is she a Beachbody coach, or is she like a lifestyle coach that's sharing her thoughts on it? I just don't recognize her from anywhere.
She's a business mentor. So like what I've noticed in the last couple of months is that the best people to do trainings with are not Beachbody coaches, because Beachbody coaches, like they have their own agenda, you know, like they already are doing this stuff, but like the people that we really want to get training from are people who are experts in their field. And if you watch her video, did you watch the video that I posted on the team page?
I watched part of it, but didn't get it all watched.
Yeah, so like I watched a couple of her live, because at first I didn't know, because like honestly, I'm really struggling right now to make ends meet with all the expenses that I have right now. And so that was like an extra thing. I was like, I don't have an extra $97 right now. But I know that this training, it's going to be for the month of December. And the fact that we're doing this training with the crew and with other top leaders in our organization, it's going to help move our business forward. So even if you don't have the money now, like I put it on a credit card, and I hate putting stuff on credit cards, but I was like, I know that this is going to be worth it. It's going to be like, I think it's going to be a really great training. And from people who have done her trainings before, it's just more about like the confidence too. And like, I'll post the link in the group again, or I'll tag you again so you can see exactly what it is, so that you know exactly where to sign up to, because I do think today's the last day to sign up. I think originally they said they were only taking 60 people. And I know that when I signed up, I was like number 58. And that was like last week. So I think they're probably just taking as many as will be signed up by the end of the day. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity. Is there only 4 of us on right now?
Yep, not too many.
That's okay. I'm recording it. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. Does anybody have like any Instagram questions, like while we're on the topic.
Those 20 hashtags that you said, do you use those 20 all the time, or do you just like pick 5, or like, you know what I mean? Like, are you tagging all 20 each picture?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That would be really
Yeah.
excessive. But like, you know how sometimes when you're posting a picture, and like I know for myself, one of the reasons I never got into Instagram is that I would like stress about, well, what hashtag am I supposed to use? And literally the last 5 pictures I posted, I haven't even hashtagged it. Because ever since they told me to hashtag in the comments, I was like, oh, well, what's the point of hashtagging? So then I go back later and I'm gonna put in my hashtags later. But yeah, I think like maybe like 5 or 6 would be like the cap of how many you want to use. But like thinking about ones that you think that other people would use, you know, like something like really super specific to what you're doing, like mom of 2 boys or something like that, like something super, super specific.
Hashtag boy.
What?
Hashtag boy mom.
Yeah.
Well, it sucks that Caitlin left the call because she told me that her allergies hashtag, like her post, I think from today got 40 likes. I'm like, that's awesome. So yeah, I wouldn't even stress about it. Like for me, yeah, I use a ton of hashtags on Instagram, but it's just the moment, whatever post that I'm posting. And it just like the ideas just come to me and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm posting about. Hashtag this, hashtag that, this, that too. This one, this like it's, and then some of the ones that you're going to use all the time, they come up in your history. You're going to see like what you used before in the past. So that's easy to be like, oh yeah, that one. I want to forget that one.
Right. So I
But
think
all
the
about
point is
consistency.
just think of 20 unique hashtags that can be like your go-to hashtags. Like obviously like you're going to be posting things in like that are very specific to like whatever you're posting, like breakfast or like breakfast for lunch or like things that you know are very specific to the post that you're doing. But like you want to think of things that it's kind of like how remember in the beginning and on Facebook when we would talk about like the 3 to 5 things about you. So like that's kind of like the same thing. Like you're thinking about those 3 to 5 things, but put them in a hashtag. So like Angela, you're doing like your Sweat for Disney thing. So like that would be a great hashtag, but even just like Disney countdown, like there's so many different versions to whatever hashtags you think that you're using that's going to reach a different type of person. And also like I know you guys probably already do this, but going and like clicking into the hashtag to see other people who have like used that hashtag recently. Oh, here's a really big tip that I almost forgot to tell you. So when you are like, let's say like you're gonna, you know how you tag places on Instagram and on Facebook? What some coaches are doing is before they go, like let's say that they're going to get their nails done or something like that, right? So like earlier before they get their nails done, they'll go and search that specific like nail salon, and whoever made a post that day, they'll comment on all of their stuff and be like let's say like at my nail salon, like somebody got their nails done and posted a picture and it was like a really pretty color and it was like I would comment on that and be like, oh my gosh, I was just there today too, I got that same color. Like something as simple as that, like commenting on people, then following them and seeing if they follow you back when you comment and interact with them, but like interacting with them like in your network. And that's something that I never really thought to do, was to like connect with people that live in your pocket. Because imagine like if you're finding, like if I'm finding people that live in Conchi and I post about things that are happening in Conchi, or I post pictures of me like at the local Wawa or whatever, and people are following me that actually live in my neighborhood, they're going to be more like, they're going to feel more connected to me because they're like, oh, like this person who I thought was just some random Instagram follower that I met actually goes to the same nail salon as me, or, you know, like stuff like that. So that's something that I'm going to start doing, is just like going in and like just following people that, you know, go to the same types of places I go to. Like you go shopping at Giant, go to Giant and see who else went shopping at Giant today, you know? So I'm going to leave you guys with that little tidbit, but that was like the biggest thing that I took away from that conversation. And now it is my present to you. But yeah, so if nobody has any questions, like obviously you guys know you guys can ask any questions on the team page, and I'll post the link to get into the 30 the coach accountability group, and then we can kind of go from there. But then again, next week is going to be the YouTube training, so make sure you mark your calendars. And the week after is going to be a Tuesday call because it's the eve before Thanksgiving. So that will be a power hour. So that'll be like how we used to do those power hours together, where we would all sit down and do the power hours together. And then the weekend after that, or the Wednesday after that, which is the last Wednesday of the month, my friend Nikki, who was my roommate for the leadership trip, is going to come and talk to us. And she's a mom. And I think like she used to be a lawyer or something, but ended up being able to leave her job. And she takes her family on all these vacations with Beachbody money, and it's like ridiculous what she does in a day. Like she was just like talking to me about some strategies that she uses because she has limited time, and so she agreed to come and talk to you guys because I feel like I could sit here and tell you guys all the things she told me, but it's not going to mean the same thing coming from me as it is coming directly from her lips. So she's going to come and talk to us in I guess 3 weeks. So make sure you mark your calendars for that too. But I put all of those as events on our team page right before this call. So go in and make sure that you RSVP to all of those trainings. And then I'll see you back on here very soon. All right, guys. Have a great night. I'll see you guys soon.
You too.
Later.
Bye.
I don't know how to turn this off.